have to get you up higher. What's up, vegan cookies? Good. I'm trying to get it set up to where we can see the screen and you can see me cleaning tools. So give me a second or two, see if I can get it figured out. Like I said, the lives are really hard because they don't let you just zoom in. Like they don't let you zoom out. What's up, Jeremy? I gotta get the chat open on mine so I can read stuff. What's up, Contreras 21? Yeah, so if you don't have something like this, the way that this works as far as chatting, in case none of y'all ever done a live before, like y'all's comments pop up there, but like unless you're looking at the screen, it disappears within like 2 seconds. So I'm gonna go find the chat on here. So we're getting close to 20,000. I needed to clean some tools anyway, so I was gonna be out here cleaning tools, sitting here. So I thought I'd go ahead and just go live, and then we could sit here and talk while I clean tools. So that way I'm not sitting here doing it by myself. If y'all aren't doing anything, what's up? Pretty good, Jeremy. Pretty good. Just got home. It's hot as all get out. Just got done. Uh, I always clean my tools every day, typically, unless I'm going to use them the next day. Let me see if I can get this microphone thing somewhere else so it's not sticking in my face. I'll try it on my shirt. I don't know if I like that or not either. I'm going to try the microphone right here. Y'all let me know if it ends up going crazy. So normally I clean my tools every day if it's something I'm done using. So I've been doing some framing and drywall and just demo and stuff like that. So a lot of my tools are really dirty, and I finished up for the most part. I've still got some of a little bit of all that to do, but nothing really high volume or anything to where I'm not going to take all these tools in again. So I'm going to go ahead and get them cleaned up so I can put them in my truck later. And again, getting close to 20,000. I'm going to go ahead and scoot around here. And y'all let me know if y'all can see and hear me all right. It looks like you can. I had to put the phone pretty far away so that I could get this all in the picture. I don't like that on my shirt. It's going to bug me. I'm going to go ahead and put it up here whether it looks dumb or not. What's my secret to 20K? I have no idea. Vegan. Got a wasp flying around. Uh, I just started making videos, and I just make videos of the tools I get. I don't know why I've got 20,000 subscribers. Not that that's like a ton or anything compared to a lot of people, but if you'd have told me I would have even got to the 1,000 mark to be able to do the monetization and all that stuff, I figured I would probably make 2 or 3 videos when I started. I mean, if you go watch my first video, it's pretty horrible. And not that really they're a whole lot better. Again, I've never filmed a video before YouTube, other than like home videos that you might have filmed with a camcorder or something like that. But I pretty much use my phone on my camera up until YouTube just to take pictures of serial and model numbers, little videos of stuff that was going on, so I could send it to a customer. I've never edited film before YouTube. I've never taken a video off my phone, put it into a video editor, and tried to do stuff with it. And I learned something new about every video. Not really so much anymore. I probably need to at some point, but then again, I'm not intending for this channel to ever be fancy. I think I even said that in the very first video. There's probably some better editing software out there. I just use iMovie, but there's probably some better stuff out there that I could use that would let me adjust the audio differently and all that. But then I'm gonna have to learn all of it. Again, it's something I've never been involved with, so I don't know a whole lot about it. So iMovie is very simple to use, and that's what I really like about it. I started out using the one on the Windows computer, and it was okay. But iMovie lets you do a little bit more, pretty easy. So that's what I use. But I don't really have a secret, I don't think. Uh, so again, and again, just to prove my point to people, because they always act like my tools, like you would see these in a video, and if you were going to see them in a video, they would be clean. But people always are like, "Oh, you must not never use your tools." Stuff on video shows up a lot different than what it shows up in real life, anyways. But my tools end up looking like this at the end of a work day. It's no different than anybody else's. All of them get dirty, but they don't have to stay this way. Now, again, I leave my tools like this until I'm done using this. But once I'm done with the job where I know I'm not going to get this out again, I go ahead and get it cleaned up so that the next time I get it out, it doesn't look like this. It's not walling around in a bag looking like this. It's not in my truck looking like this, getting the dust on other tools. I just like for my stuff to be clean. But just because my stuff is clean in the videos doesn't mean that I don't use them. All this stuff ends up getting used at some point in time. Looks like we got 23 people. What number are we on? So 19,990. And again, my cleaner of choice is Houdini. I think I should have plenty, and I just actually got another can in the mail from Amazon today. So I know I've got plenty. I've got a lot of partial cans, so I'm going to try to get them used up because I keep these in my truck. I'll go ahead and get up close and let me find I should have done this before just to show y'all, which again, I've got a video showing the Houdini working, but you can go from just a really ugly covered in drywall tool to, again, looks brand new. And even if you've got dust and like those little crevices right there, all it takes is one spray and it gets every bit of that out. And again, I'm not suggesting you do this because this is not what this is for. But again, I've done it for at least a decade on all my tools and I've never had an issue. But do it at your own risk, I guess, is the smart thing to say as somebody that's, but again, you can see, does that tool look new? Yes. But was it right before that? No. And I don't usually spend the time to clean out, all the stuff that's inside of this. That's just going to happen again. It don't really impact anything. I clean my tools to make a living with them. Plus, I just like tools. Contreras. Yeah. Like I said, I don't knock anybody that doesn't, but I also don't knock people that do. You do whatever you want to do. But my clientele, like, again, if I'm gonna walk in somebody's, if I worked on just job sites like what I've been working on, where it's just been me there all day long, no customers, they're never gonna see anything, then it doesn't matter. But again, this tool I was using on the job site, so it's got quite a bit of dirt on. I'm gonna have to keep coming close to the camera because again, I had to put the camera pretty far away to get to there. We lost a subscriber. I must have made somebody mad. But I don't want to walk in somebody's house and get this out to cut maybe a receptacle cut-in box or something like that. And even though it's going to look like this, it just doesn't look good to me to go inside of some home that's a $500,000 home and get out a tool that's just covered in dirt and everything else. I try to keep their houses clean. So again, on a job site, doesn't necessarily matter, but whenever you're looking at it in the aspect of working in somebody's home, I think to me it makes a big difference. Probably a weird time to go live, although might be able to catch some people across the ocean. What I do with my spray bottles up there. So again, it pretty much this stuff, you spray it on everywhere and the tool ends up being like new. I even open the switches, make sure I get in there. Maybe this will be some of that ASMR stuff for tool junkies. So again, took me 2 seconds And normally, again, I do this in my truck whenever I'm done with this, typically, if I just use it that one day. But I've been using this for like 3 days now, along with all these tools. So I've not cleaned them each and every one of those 3 days. But now that I'm kind of done with them, I'm going to go ahead and get them all cleaned up so that they're clean. What's up, Justin Richards? I'm going to have to figure out how to get my stool to quit squeaking too. And again, I still even do the same. I use this on my batteries. I spray it on the terminals because, again, it's for electric locks. So I don't see where it's going to hurt anything like that. Now, I probably wouldn't just go right, plug it straight into a tool and start using it like right after. I'd make sure and let it dry. And this right here, if I wasn't sitting here talking and doing the live, it wouldn't take me, 15, 20 minutes to do all these if I was just going to be sitting here just going to town on it. Pretty good, Justin. I got done with most of my framing at that place, although they keep adding more work. The project job, every time they come in, they're like, well, let's do this too and this and that. So I don't know that I'm going to be there to finish it. I'm trying to get it framed up and all the stuff put in to where somebody can come hang drywall and finish it, hopefully while I'm in my normal town working and getting caught up on some jobs that I'm supposed to be doing. And then maybe I'll be able to come back after they get done finishing drywall and maybe even paint it, hopefully. And then if they want me to do doors and flooring and stuff like that, maybe I'll have time to do that. But I think I'm going to be too busy to be able to hang all the drywall and get it all finished because they've added a lot more work. It's going to end up being quite a bit of drywall for one person. I'd be there for quite a while. What's up, Plumbing with Quaz? What phone you like to use for recording? I'm just using my iPhone. I just got the iPhone 15 a couple months ago. Prior to that, I had an 11 Pro, so most of my videos have been on 11 Pro. This time, I just got the regular 15 because I never really use I think the extra camera on or the extra lens on the Pro version is like the farthest zoomed in, and I never use that because, like, if anything, I normally film a lot of my stuff on my workbench in that number 5 or like the farthest away that you can get so that everything stays in the picture. That's what I said about the live. They pretty much don't let you do any zooming in and out. It is what it is, so it's really hard to get everything in the picture and know what you're looking at. That's why I've got that phone. I mean, it's probably 10, 15 feet away from me right now just so I can kind of see everything. Let's see. Phil Lewis, I try to keep all my tools, mechanical or power, clean. I hate grabbing a screwdriver, wrench, or especially a socket that has dirt and grease on them. Everything gets clean. 100% agree with that. Even while I'm working, like as this sawzall, I mean, it's been through it this week. I've been cutting out all kinds of stuff with this. I can't stand hardly even grabbing it sometimes because it's so bad. But most of the time, as long as my hands are whatever the same thing is. But Matthew Ellsworth, what nail gauge do you recommend for baseboard? It depends on how. For the most part, to me, if you're hitting studs, you can use 18 and it's fine. I know a lot of people like to go on and get 16. 15 is a little bit heavy duty in my opinion. So if you had a 16 gauge nailer, that would probably be good. But 18s, I mean, I've not had any problems with 18s. Normally, I use 18s as long as you're hitting studs and stuff like that. And then also, I use my pin nailer, like if it's shoe mode or quarter round or something like that. That way, I don't have to go back and putty all those nails. But I think most people would probably tell you 16, but you can get by with 18. I've done tons of baseboard with 18. Gusty Oinker, woohoo, he made it. What's up, Rob? Yeah, we're at 1990. We were at 1990, and then it dropped down one. I lost one. I must have made somebody mad. Fan of YouTube Shorts. I make them just kind of more so of, I know a lot of people only watch shorts, and then so I make some for people who only watch shorts. But typically, my shorts are just, hey, I've got a longer video because there's not a lot you can say in 60 seconds sometimes. About some tools, it's really hard to fit everything in 60 seconds. So I try not to just go overboard. I kind of just give the price and just if it's new or doing whatever. And then, hey, I've got a longer video. If you want more details, you can go check that out. It's really hard to fit all the information of stuff in 60 seconds. Here's my old holstery Joey pouch. I use this one for drywall screws only, so that's why it's got a little bit more drywall dust on it. But even with these, I don't clean that. I don't pay much attention to this because that's pretty much all I use it for. But you can even spray the Houdini on the outside of these holstery pouches, and it gets kind of the white dust look off of it, and it'll give you like a newer look again. Again, I don't go crazy cleaning the insides or anything like that. I just try to get all the loose looking dust to where it doesn't look like it's a half white, half drywall dust pouch in case I do take this inside. Maybe I'm doing a patch or something like that. So that's what I do with that. Shorts seem to be liked by the algorithm. Yeah, I think they want people to do more shorts. And I think on Tools and Tactics and that Tools with SOALs, they do a lot of their lives in the vertical mode. And apparently it does something different in the algorithm, or maybe it's like a live short or something. I don't know what it is, but they say they get a lot more views on their lives if they do the vertical mode instead of, but then you got a lot of, I can see if you're doing it with somebody else, like they normally have two people, so it kind of fills up the screen with both their heads. But if I did that, it's going to just be like me and then two big old blank nothingness over to the side, and I don't think that looks as good. So Abraham Perez, or there's Three Phase. What's up, Three Phase? Abraham Perez. I legit just cleaned my MB5B when I got home today. Used the air compressor. Looks way better. Yeah, I hit all these with a leaf blower before I set them on this table. And again, a lot of times I wouldn't do this here. I'd just be doing it on the back of my truck bed and then be putting stuff up as I cleaned it so I don't have to find somewhere to put it. So this isn't my normal operation of cleaning, bring everything in here, stick it on a table. I normally just pull stuff out of my truck bed, off top of my deck drawers, clean it on my tailgate, and put each thing up, as I get done. But like I said, I decided I didn't have anything to do, so I thought I'd come out here and see if anybody was open to chat. My MB or MP2X, pretty much all the tools in it, and it's got a little bit of drywall dust, on it as well. So it's about the one thing that I think this M12 blower is good for, or that Maleef, but I'm not going to use that Maleef right now because it's pretty loud and it'd probably blow y'all's ears off. There's TPG. He's in his cubicle. I'm going to tell you now, I've never found anything, and I've tried 2 or 3 other things. People that stuff said. I just picked up these. I don't know if anybody's tried these. I normally use the crocodile wipes, but I like the fact that these were in a tube. And I saw a video online on YouTube of somebody sprayed the great stuff foam all over them. And if you've ever had that on you, it is a nightmare. I remember whenever I was probably a junior in high school, and I had just put some big speakers in my trunk of my car. I think I had like a 1990 Sunbird, and it was rattling like it was getting a little bit of rattling noise with the trunk lid. And I thought, I'm going to spray some of that great stuff foam in all these little cavities, and that's probably going to make it better. And then, so I was spraying it and just taking my bare hands and smearing it around inside of there. And then, I bet it was 3 weeks before I got all that stuff off of me. But that guy sprayed stuff all over his arm and then just wiped it off with one of these. I just got them. I haven't used them yet. I still probably won't use it to clean my tools because there's really no oil factor in it. I just really like the Houdini. It works best for me. Pumming McQuays, how much you like those wipes? I just got them. I hadn't tried them. They don't smell bad. I really like the crocodile wipes at Home Depot. Which you can get them on Amazon too. This one doesn't. This one's got a little bit more of a industrial type smell, I guess. That's the best way I can put it. But they act like it's pretty good. But I haven't hammered on them yet. I just now got it. I actually just got it in the mail yesterday, so I haven't used any of them yet. I'm going to swap it out with I like the crocodile wipes, but I like this lid here better than the little tab. I have a hard time keeping those straight in that crocodile wipes. They work really good, and they've got some for grill. All I've ever used on the crocodile wipes are the. I'm probably screaming. I don't know. Y'all can let me know. I'm thinking that I have to talk loud because the phone's so far away. I forget my mic's right here. But I've only used the all-purpose ones. They've got some for grills and paint and all that kind of stuff. What Veto tote bag is that, and what do you use it for? This one is the CTLC, and it's just one big old open bag, and I just throw stuff in it, on the job site. I normally, what I've been doing is I've got a lot of these old DeWalt bags right here, like real big. I've got 4 or 5 of them. Used to get them with kits and stuff like that. I use these as my dirty tool, like really dirty stuff bag. And then this one, I carry stuff like if I've got supplies for a job, service call, or whatever, I throw them all in this and carry it all in at one time. But on my big job, how I've been using this is like my 3-plane laser, my stud finder, stuff that's not going to get dirty and dusty. I throw it on over into here. That way it's not mixed in with a lot of real dirty tools to where it's a little bit more to clean that as well. So that's how I've been using that one. But I like it. It's kind of expensive for what it is, but I was wanting something with that hard bottom on it. I wanted something that looked good because again, I take it into people's homes. So sometimes what looks good is important as well, not just function. See, big wipes are very good, used by a lot of trades over here. Yeah, I was thinking, the video I saw it on Three Phase was somebody over in the UK that was talking about it. I think it was like at a trade show or something like that over there. So I didn't know if they were bigger over there or not. Like I said, I've had really good luck with the crocodile wipes, but I hadn't tried those yet. I just got them. We had 92. Who knows? We might hit 100,000 while we're sitting out here. That'll be the day. Have you ever used tub of towels? Phil Lewis said. I think I have in the past, but I haven't used them for a long time. Um, I always used to just, well, for the most part, I just use this right here. But I started buying the crocodile wipes to clean my hands off more than anything. But this really even works for that too, if I really wanted to. But this is kind of expensive to just go to town with it. So I started buying those crocodile wipes. I really like those. They even take, like, if you've got paint mess ups and stuff, you can take it and put something around it and wipe it. They work really well. I feel like the crocodile wipes are wetter than these, but again, I haven't used these. These got a little bit more texture to it. The crocodile wipes feel more like a baby wipe, like one of those flushable wipes. It's got like a smooth texture on it, but they do a good job cleaning. I don't know what the difference of the what's made on the inside of them type thing. The most of the garage I've been able to see yet. Yeah, it's probably dirty. I haven't spent a lot of time out here in the last. I'm hoping to film a guess the trade tomorrow. I haven't had, or tonight. Maybe I'll be able to film it tonight. I don't know. I got to cut my grass though before it rains, and it's supposed to rain tomorrow, but they act like it's not going to be till in the evening. So hopefully I'll have time tomorrow. I've had a pretty crazy week this week, which I'm working in a town that's farther away than where I normally go, so my travel time's been a little bit more. Uh, it's not been crazy more, but just a little bit more. I think I about got my MP2X done. I'm gonna go ahead and clean the outside of it. I broke my little clip on my Santronics in my pocket. That bummed me out a little bit, but at least I didn't drop it. '93. Count went up to 93. See, TPG said I need to add some videos to my channel. Tool bag flashlights is going to be #1 on the list. Did you tell me you were making videos, TPG? I didn't know if you started making videos yet. I haven't seen them. I think I'm subscribed to you. I subscribe to a lot of y'all, but then again, like I said, I don't know what's up with the YouTube algorithm. I don't see half the stuff that I subscribe to, which I watch a lot of different stuff on YouTube on my TV. I watch a lot of sports stuff. I watch a lot of work videos, tool videos. So sometimes my whole feed is just a mix of sports stuff, and I never see any of the tool stuff unless I specifically search it out. Um, but there's very few people. That's like Three Phases videos, unless I actually go look up Three Phase to see if he's put out anything new. I never hardly see his. Let's see. Put all these back in here. I know my forged wire strippers are down in a different bag somewhere. That goes in my SBLD. Yeah, this is taking me a lot longer to clean these tools talking to y'all. VCG, check out those cookie vids. Hoping to start posting again. What's up, Eddie? I tell you, I really like this stud ball from Racketeers. I think I had it in a tool haul video. But man, you got to be careful with this thing. It is strong as all get out. And if you're remotely close to anything metal on your tool bag, I was climbing up and down the attic stairs in that project I was working on. It's got those metal, the hinges and all that stuff. And I had my MP2X on me, and this was just onto the tape measure holder, uh, like that right there, because I was using it. And then I couldn't find it for nothing. I was like, where is that? I know I had it on me. And then later on, when I was climbing up and down those attic stairs, it was stuck right there to the hinge. And I probably didn't get very close to it. But I mean, that thing is strong as all get out. Let's see. I watch a lot of Tooling with Newman's videos, TPG said. Yeah, I've seen several of his as well. His have been coming up in my feed. I've seen those. ZLM, what do you think of Ryobi power tools for DIY projects? They are starting to catch my interest. TPG in here, comment right above yours. He's got a lot of them. I think they're pretty good tools. I'm not going to sit here and say they're not, especially for homeowners and all that kind of stuff. And again, I'm not even saying a professional can't use them, and that you're not going to end up having some last as long as a Milwaukee tool or DeWalt tool. That's kind of the big thing with the cheaper tools, is that sometimes they don't last as long as the other ones. But again, if you're not putting them to use day in and day out, then that's not really a big concern. And even if you are, if you want to buy Ryobi, and even if you got to buy two, you can probably buy two for the price of one Milwaukee. But it's just that whole downtime thing that a lot of like contract people who are doing this for a living, you can't afford to. I'm at a job site and my drill just quit working on me. And then now I got to drive maybe all the way across town to go buy myself a new drill or something like that. You don't want to run into that scenario a lot. So that's typically why you buy better tools as a contractor, is so that I don't end up having something happen to me where I don't have the tool that I need and it's not working. I can't trust it. Nothing worse than leaving somebody's house to go get something that you should have, in my opinion. It makes you look bad. I've also got to charge a lot of batteries. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these out too. 94. Appreciate it, Rob. It keeps me from having to turn around because the screen's so far away from me, I can't read it on my screen up there. I saw Perkins Builder Brothers did this it's been a few weeks ago, but they got to 1 million subscribers, and he was doing the same thing, like they were live just talking and stuff. So I thought, well, I'm going to clean my tools. I'm going to see if I can do a live, and then I might as well throw that number up there. We'll see if we hit 20,000. We may not. Like I said, it slowed down a lot in the last 2 or 3 months. I don't know if it's just because it's summertime or what, but all my views have went down. The subscribers have went down, but if I went back and look at last year during this time of year, maybe it's the same. Again, I don't get all involved in it that much. I just make videos, post them. If it gets views, it does, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. Putting a dent in it, putting a dent in it. One more screwdriver there. Three-phase says, trigger on my Roby hammer drill lasted about 8 years before it went intermittent. Would happily buy another one. See, like I said, you might buy, and you could buy a Milwaukee hammer drill, and it only lasts you a year. So, again, I'd say the averages probably are that the higher price ones might last longer if you averaged it out, but you're going to get a limit in the big names. I mean, you could go buy a Festool track saw and it could quit on you in 6 months, and you could go buy an Evolution one or whatever and for real cheap, and it could last you for 15 years. You just never know. It's the same thing with anything. I will say, I don't know if any of y'all have this Milwaukee, the M12 Fuel Hacksaw or Sawzall. I can't remember. Is the hacksaw the chainsaw, or what do they call this? What do they call the Sawzall? It's got its own specific name, but Hacksaw, I think, or something like that. If you put a 5 amp hour high output battery in it, the tabs don't lock in right. Like, you can't hardly even use it on that saw because the whole time you're using it, it just keeps popping out on you. So I had to swap over and start using my old 4s and 3s and stuff like that. I don't know if anybody else has had that problem. That's been a problem for me all week. Let's see. 95. Justin Richards, M12 and M18 be all you ever need. I agree with that. Like, since I've swapped over to Milwaukee, there's not been a tool that I've wanted that hadn't been an option for me. And then there's also not been, even though there's some I want, but I haven't bought, but I could go get them because they offer them type thing. And again, there might be another brand of a certain tool that theirs might be a little bit better, but there's not a Milwaukee tool that I've really bought that I'm just like, oh, this is a total piece of garbage. It's not good at all. And like I said, there's some of them I don't use very often. That's like in that one of my first videos, the top, I think it's top 7, bottom 3 M12 tools that I had at the time. All the tools that I listed in my bottom 3 aren't bad tools. They were just tools that I didn't use enough. I didn't feel like they were worth the money that I paid for them because they didn't work out kind of how I thought they were going to. But they're still good tools. They still work as well as if you went and bought that same tool of somebody else's, it's still going to work just as well. So that's what I like about Milwaukee. I've not had really any problems out of their tools other than that surge. But again, I use the fire out of it. If you would have told me as much as you use that, you're going to get the 3 to 5 years or whatever my warranty time was up with it, I've been happy with it for what I paid for it type thing. So it didn't bother me. But none of my other tools have even, missed a lick. 96 and then ouch 94 made some people mad. Which one of y'all commented something bad? Justin said that's the hacksaw. I knew it was hacksaw. Is the hacksaw, is that what they call the little chainsaw? Because it's got some kind of a name that's similar to it. I've thought about buying that little chainsaw too. I haven't yet though. This right here is one of the hardest tools to clean. You can't hardly get in there. It's been demoing drywall with it pretty much all week, so it's got a lot of drywall dust in it. 96, 97. Somebody's wanting to be the 20,000 and they keep backing in and out or something like that. So what all y'all been working on this week? I filmed a video of me framing the other day, but just kind of from far away. and then I stop and talk in between because I had my bag in here, my MB3 with all my microphone, my other iPhone, my GoPro. I was filming the that Veto bag magnet video, and I got all that stuff out just to get my microphones out. And then I left for work the next day and didn't have my bag with me, so all I had was my one phone with no microphone. So I've got to do some voiceover, but then I'll probably put it out. But then, like I said, I'm gonna try to get a guest to trade filmed either tonight or hopefully tomorrow if it doesn't rain. And then coming up pretty soon, I don't know, I'm gonna be a grandpa pretty soon, so I might end up missing a Saturday if that happens sometime close and I haven't filmed something yet, but that could be any day now. Rob said 3 of you go get your wife's phone. Sizzleneck TV, I've been buying newer tools in the last year. I have drawers of older tools, but I retired 2 years ago and have time to do things. It can become addictive for sure, which I've been that way my whole time working. I just absolutely love tools. I like looking at them. I like reading specs on them. I like watching videos of them. I just started watching videos of them not too long before I started this channel because again, I wasn't really all that big into YouTube watching it or anything. And then I started watching some other people's videos and seeing stuff. It brought me on to all kinds of tools that I didn't even know were an option out there. I'm going to clean those saws last. I also got a new Atlas vest. I wear it in the video that I filmed. It's the, I can never remember the name, Stratos, and I really like it. I'll go ahead and put it on for you. So I normally have had this Saratoga, but now that I've got and this will be like a job site vest, and I'll probably do a review for it, so I won't go crazy on it right now. But I've always had, I've had this for a long time, the Saratoga, and I like it, and then I don't like it. But again, these were just for big job sites for like what I'm working on. My service calls, I'm always going to wear that 1824 vest. But I don't want to wear it like hanging drywall and doing all that kind of stuff because then I'm gonna get it nasty. That's my vest for going into a customer's home and working on a home. So the Saratoga vest is the one that you've probably seen some videos on. A lot of people have had this. I've never liked it as much because this belt right here is so stiff, and I don't like the look of it without the belt on me because it's like a belly vest. Without that, it would be up to right here. I just think that looks weird. But with this belt on, it also you can move fine, but it's not really as free moving as some other things that I've used. So the one thing I miss on this is I do miss compared to this one. I'll show you. I'll put it on. Is all the like pockets right here for pencils and all that stuff. So I haven't decided. I'm going to get rid of probably this. I haven't decided yet for sure, but I think I'm going to. But the Stratos, they came out with it after the fact. And it is like almost like a vest, but also belt and suspenders, but it's really close to your body. So it's not going to be as hot. So all the people that's been like, I'd like to have a vest, but it's going to probably be hot. This is more of and this one has way more adjustment too. Like you can, whenever I first got it and put it on before I adjusted everything, like all my stuff was right here. So you can raise and lower these side panels. Maybe I'll get a little bit closer. Right there, maybe. So you can raise and lower these side panels, but the back on this is open as well. So like it's not going to be as hot. This won't be as hot. Again, I don't get hot in my Saratoga because I work inside. But I can definitely feel, even though you can see my big sweat rings happening out here, I can definitely, move around easier in this. But it's not the vest on the Saratoga, it's the belt. If that belt wasn't something that I had to wear just to make me not look like a goober wearing a belly shirt, that one would be fine. But again, this one is missing some of I don't have anywhere to put my pencils and stuff like that. So, but I do like it so far. I've worn it for the last 3 days, and I kind of have got to where I really like it. Need to change that out. And go ahead and get all the stuff off here so I can clean it too. I'll clean that later. Caught up here. Chris Conway says, well, let's see. I'll go a little bit farther up. Rob Holland, great news. Congrats on the grandpa. Justin Richards, just working the solar farm. We're coming along, and congrats on being a grandpa. Appreciate that. Yeah, I think the due date is September. It's in a week or so. But if it's not here, it's going to be a girl. If she's not here by a certain date, they've already got a date picked out. But Wood Mastery guy, agree with you on tools. Same business as you since 1979. I'm old and like the lightweight 12-volt Milwaukee. Still use some Makita and a few DeWalt's. Chris Conway, the best and worst thing about YouTube channels, the YouTube has definitely cost me some money. Don't regret most of it. Yeah, I've bought a lot. Like I said, I'm a person who bought a lot of tools anyways, just because I could go in the store if I find clearance deals, especially. It's really hard for me to not buy clearance stuff, even if it's a supply, if it's a tool, whatever it is. But now I see videos of stuff that I would have never known existed. So I'm buying tools that I would have not even been able to pick up because of Amazon, and plus just the way we can get stuff these days. Used to you was stuck with whatever Home Depot, Lowe's, your supply shops carried. It's pretty much all you could get. And nowadays you can find just about anything. Three-phase flipping between the video and writing a 280 MVA transformer protection assessment. Congrats on becoming a grandpa. Appreciate that. TPG says I've excelled at cracking his wallet open. Wood Mastery guy, vest and wearing tool belts is for the young. I enjoy working from carry tool bags. Never tried a backpack. Yeah, like I said, my long-term thing would be I go to most homes with my tool bag, and I'm gonna wear my really small vest. I don't know if you've seen the one that I've got that I use. It's nothing like any of these. I throw it on. Even then, if I know I'm not going to do a lot of crazy stuff, I don't throw it on. But long term, as I'm getting older, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to be just service calls. I'm not going to be, you know, going and picking up subfloor and 5H drywall that I picked up today and hang some 5H drywall and doing all that kind of stuff, crawling around in attics. It's just something as I get older, I'm going to try to steer away from. I'd like to just be walk into a house with my tool bag, maybe a drill and a couple power tools or whatever. But it's probably still a few years down the road. I still feel pretty good. Not that my body doesn't feel older than what I am, but I still feel like I can still do it for quite some time. Let's see. Gus Kimmy just made the switch over to M12 after watching most of your M12 reviews. Best decision I've made as far as tools are concerned. Yeah. And like I said, the M12, I use this all day long today, the M12 circular saw, 2x6s, 2x4s. That's all I was cutting all day. Use this. I cut out some subfloor to put in some patches wherever they used to have some receptacles in the floor and they didn't want them there anymore. I did get out my rear handle and cut some stuff outside, but that's because it was there at my truck and this was inside at my sawhorses. I didn't have to have this for what I was doing. A lot of the M12 tools are going to be able to do, like I said, it takes a little bit longer. This isn't going to cut through something. And, you watch all these videos where people show something beating something by a second or a second and a half or whatever. It's like, yeah, this is going to take maybe a second and a half longer to cut through the 2x4. But whenever you compare, how much this weighs in my hand versus this right here, plus this is nowhere near as loud as this one. I just feel like it's a better experience using this little M12 saw. I'd rather use it all day long and cost me a little bit of time. And then my elbows not hurt at night when I get home, or end up keeping my hearing longer, whatever it is, that's what I'm kind of going for. I'm going to get my hat all sweaty. Y'all are chatting it up. I can't get any tool cleaning done. That's fine. Let's see. Where was I at? Let's see. Three phase looks like some of the Klein Connect is available on Amazon UK, so I can blame Joey for that purchase. Yeah, I'm hoping they start sending some more Klein over y'all's way. Maybe that's why they were getting into the metric, getting it all ready and throwing it out, making sure that it was going to work out for them and all that stuff. And then maybe they'll start introducing it over there to you guys. Eddie says YouTube's a treasure trove for tool vids. That it is. Justin Richards, at my current job site, I wear a Klein canvas nut and bolt pouch and a drill holster on a tough built belt, and all the old timers are like, "Why are you wearing a belt? Because it's more productive." Yeah, it is for sure. Like if if you're just, which I kind of use my MP pouch, to me is like this is what I would normally throw on a belt, and I just clip it on my. But like if I work out of a tool bag instead of using this on several of the jobs I do, it's going to take me 3 times as long because I'm going to be constantly bending over. And then what you end up doing is throwing pliers in your pockets and all kinds of stuff, and then the handles spread out in your pocket, and you're trying to get it out. And it's just not a fun experience. So I don't wear a belt as much anymore because I wear just this pouch and it's got a clip on it, so you don't have to. But it's definitely faster in production if you're going to be doing like production type work to have a belt with your tools actually on you, so you're not going back and forth to a bag. That's what I had a video a long time ago. I think it was whenever I got to 1,000 subscribers actually, of tool belts, tool vests. What do I use? And I think I had like 4 scenarios. One is I just use my tool bag for certain jobs. Then other jobs, if it's repetitive work, I put on a belt with a pouch, or I put on my apron, or I put on a vest if it's bigger jobs and I need more stuff on me type thing. So I kind of do a lot of different stuff. So there's different setups I use for different things, but you definitely need, to me, to carry the stuff on you if it's production type stuff and it matters. Wood Mastery guy says, I've worn out many 20 volt DeWalt, but so far I have not burned up any 12 volt Milwaukee. I haven't used really any of the high dollar 20 volt DeWalts. The company that I worked for before I went out on my own, that's the tools that they were running as far as for the staff to use and all that kind of stuff. But they were always like you go to Lowe's and you buy the cheapest drill and impact combo that you could get. It wasn't like the XR, like, and all that kind of stuff. Uh, and the drills, I think I went through like 4 or 5 of them, just smoked them out like in no time. But again, I wasn't using the better ones, so I don't know how well they compare. The DeWalt 12 volt stuff's not bad though. A buddy of mine's got it, and he likes using it pretty good. Screws to put up. I got some Spider Sawzall blades, mock blues. First time I'd ever used them. The town I'm working in only has a Lowe's. They don't have a Home Depot. So I had to go get some Sawzall blades. So I tried that one out of the bunch that was there. It didn't do too bad. I still don't think it was it definitely wasn't like a Diablo or anything like that, but it wasn't bad. It was the wood with nails type thing. There's my forged wire strippers. I knew they was in there somewhere. Nathan Alonzo, how long does your M12 fan last on M12 6.0? Thinking about upgrading fans for my brushed M18. Should I pick up the new M18 pack out? Thoughts, anyone? Yeah, I'm interested in that. I don't know. Is the M18 pack out one out? Like, is it available? Because I was looking at maybe getting it just because I'm sure it's got the plug. The one thing about the M12, and again, I very rarely use the plug-in option, but it would be nice to have. I can't remember how long mine lasts with the 6. All my 6.0 batteries went bad. That's the only thing of Milwaukee's that I've had that didn't do well. So I run a 4 in it, and I mean, you can run it for several hours on 4. I don't know how much. I don't know how much a 6 would last, but I am interested if anybody's got the pack out fan, how well you like it, because there's times whenever I'm on a job site and I do a patch, And like I could use that fan and put it on it, but I'd rather if there's a receptacle pretty close, just so I'm not sitting there having to check and make sure the battery didn't die and all that kind of stuff, or I can leave and then come back later and don't have to worry about a battery dying while I'm gone. I'd like to have a plug-in option so that I can just set it on there, which sometimes I don't use this one. I've got a little Bosch leaf blower. If there's nobody home, if you get out one of these leaf blowers and you use hot mud, I mean, you can dry it pretty fast with one of these if you just sit there and blow on top of it. All right, that's finally filled out. That one's done. Let's see. Clinton Trinidad, 4 away. Let's go. What's up, Clinton? Tools with Tim. Congrats on both milestones. Wish you the best on your expanding family. Appreciate that. Great deals on the M12 batteries and tools from Home Depot. I saw the 3 M12 50 batteries. That's not a bad deal if you need some. I always end up doing the, uh, I wait until I get some kind of tool with free battery, and then I can either choose to hack the tool or the battery most of the time. Eddie, congrats, Papaw. Appreciate that. Let's see. Woodmaster guy saw the M12s. Eddie says 12-volt rigid's all he uses. I used to have rigid 18-volt, and it was all pretty good stuff. I didn't have any problem with it. I really liked the nail guns. I had a 15-gauge nailer that was rigid that worked pretty well. Justin Mazzaferro, probably butchered that, buddy, but thanks. I want the MPX for whip tools, TPG said. Woodmaster guy, thanks for showing the Veto tote. The thing is a game changer for me on carrying materials into homes. Yeah, and I think it just looks really professional in my opinion too. Like I said, it's expensive, but if you go buy yourself some kind of tote that kind of looking at with a hard bottom and you know all that kind of stuff and the stitching and stuff on this, I mean you can probably get one for cheaper for sure. That's similar quality and all that stuff, but I just think it looks nice too. It works out really well for me. So close. I tried to subscribe again, but it wouldn't let me. Nathan Alonzo, new M18 Packout fan is available on Home Depot now. So how much is it? Do you know real? I mean, I'll look it up later, but if you know off the top of your head. For DeWalt, I use the cordless table saw and the cordless air compressor. I do like the D-handle jigsaw, but that's about it. TPG says he doesn't have a fan yet. We're at 98. Best wishes from Chattanooga. You're not too far from me then, Justin. I'm up in Kentucky. So you probably, Justin, you've been to Big Rock City and Fairy Tale Caverns. They really get you with that Fairy Tale Caverns. Make you think you're going to see something. I think that's what it was called, was Fairy Tale Caverns. Terry Burton wishing you 100,000 soon, Joey. I enjoy your channel. Appreciate that. 99. Oh, there it is. 20,000. We'll have to see if we lose somebody. New pack out fan is 129 bucks. No, that's not bad. If that's, I can't imagine it's that. I would think it'd be more expensive than that. Kaiwi says he's working, but going to catch the replay. Congrats. Oh, we done lost two. See, somebody wanted to be the 20,000. They got mad. Oh, no. Or I'm watching on delay, one or the other. There we go. I just watched it on the screen go to 20,000. So it is at 20,000 still. I was watching it on the delay, I guess. Well, I appreciate that, everybody. Like I said, it blows my mind that it's 20,000 subscribers. If you'd have told me back when I started just to get to 100, I was like, I can't believe 100 people have subscribed to me. And then the 1,000 blew my mind. 5,000. But I appreciate every single one of y'all. I really appreciate the comments and all that kind of stuff. Every video. That's the whole reason why I keep doing it. Because like I said, it's pretty time consuming. It's not overly time consuming because it's still stuff. I'm buying the tools and stuff anyway. So it's not like I'm spending more time going and looking for tools to make videos for and trying to find stuff. It's like if I buy a tool, I'll make a video for it. And if I don't buy any, I won't make any videos for that little bit or whatever. But y'all are the ones that make it worth doing. You know, You're the whole reason why I keep making videos for the chats and all that kind of stuff. All right, now we'll keep cleaning until 30,000. Call your neighbors. Appreciate that, Eddie. Mm-mm-mm. 20,001. Getting closer to 30,000. TPG says he keeps running into Matt HMM on channels. Yeah, he's everywhere. Like if you go, uh, pretty much a lot of the stuff I watch, if I go to the comment section, he actually even said something the other day. He's like, you must go watch exactly all the same videos I watch. But there's very few videos that I go to that he's not commented on. So he's already seen it before me because he's commented even before I have. I'm gonna move that. Woodmaster guy can't stay until 30K. He's got a job to go to. Well, you must not have very much faith thinking it's going to take a long time or something. It might only take 5 minutes. Brian Hall said you should sell your hats. I'd buy it. Yeah, if I could figure out, I might look into seeing if there's some place online or something. Because what's going to get you with me would be I'm buying the hats, getting them shipped to my house. That doesn't cost me anything, and then I'm going to the place and having to make them. But then I'm gonna have to pay to ship it. So if I could find some place that could still do it and then ship it directly instead of it being a middleman like type thing, I think you could get the price down pretty good. But I might look into it and see if I can find some kind of online thing, even just for myself, because even going to the place that I go to, I feel like it's expensive, and then also I've got to go drop it off. I've got to go pick it up. I'd rather just do something where I could get it mailed to me, even my own shirts and stuff like that. So appreciate it, Woodmaster guy. Thanks for coming, buddy. I think everything else in here don't matter. Yeah, so like pry bars and stuff like that. I don't clean that kind of stuff. But now I do have some that I take in homes that I keep clean. But any kind of like job site tools like hammers and stuff like that, I don't go crazy on those. What I call beater tools. I've got nice hammers and I've got nice pry bars, and then I've got beater hammers and beater pry bars that I use on job sites. So that bag is pretty much done. This tough built tape measure has about 8. It's good still, but if you go out very far, it never wants to retract unless I, kind of shake it. Or I really like it though. It's been a pretty good tape measure. I like the size of it. I like how it works. But now, of course, since I found it and I like it, I don't know that you can find one anywhere. Tough Built's kind of went out of stores and all that stuff. So somebody said they started seeing it in Harbor Freight. So maybe they'll pick up the Tough Built tape measures at Harbor Freight or something. Because I actually kind of like this tape measure. It's been pretty good. Rob Holland would love stickers. Yeah, I've looked into that too because I was looking into that for my own self. And if I got some, I'd go ahead and give them out to people. Because like I said, I made myself my own just to print some on, just to put them on some stuff that I had. And like that's what that right there is. That's a big sticker that I put on a board. And that's really how I started making these. But I need something where like go ahead and cut the circle like it's a circle sticker. Like I've got to cut around the outside edge of that. And it's a real big pain. Uh, if I could find some place that would print them as circles already the right size and all that kind of stuff, and probably that's just printer paper like stick. You probably need some with some kind of film over the top of it to make it last longer and all that kind of stuff. Does that Veto bag have the swap panel in it? If so, what's the size? No, this one's just, let me get out all the stuff because I'm cleaning out anyway. So there's some shop vac bags for my really big shop vac in case I needed it. I just left. I've got a real big shop vac that I take to job sites. I got a small one that I take if I'm only going to be there for a day. But if I'm going somewhere and I'm going to be there, like there, I'll probably be there for a while. And I'll even leave it there for other people to use. And I just take it and drop it off and leave it there because it's one of them really big rigid ones, and I don't really like it because it's so big. So I've always felt like, well, if somebody steals that, it's not the end of the world to me. I'm not going to be disappointed uh, horribly, so I just leave it there. But I had to take some bags with me because I thought I'd need it. There's a couple caps and some of that fusion stuff. I might need that tomorrow, actually. Let me get it emptied out, and I'll kind of show it. I'll get up close and show you the bag. Box covers. Stud finder, I'll clean that. Big sawzall. There's my wire nut top. Wire. Got all kinds of stuff down in here. That can go in my bin. About got it empty. Hang on just a second. So this one again is just, and I actually was surprised because I think they sell, what's this one? This is the CTLC. I think they got like I'm glad I got this one because they got a CTXL that's bigger than this one. And I was back and forth because again, it's kind of like your MP pouches where there's very little difference in price. And you're like, oh, I don't want to get the wrong one that I don't want. But this one's pretty good size. Like you can see it in compared to me. I fit all kinds of stuff. I keep a sweatshirt and some stuff in the very bottom just so that whenever I throw stuff in there, it doesn't like just bang, kind of like a cushion. So I keep a sweatshirt down there in the bottom. But it's just one big old open bag. But it does have that hard bottom and all that kind of stuff on it. Again, more than anything, I just get it because I feel like it looks nice. I was looking for a bag like this. It's basically, to me, it's what a lot of people might use a 5-gallon bucket for. You know, you just throw stuff in a 5-gallon bucket, carry it in somewhere. But again, if you're going into a really expensive home and you got customers and all that kind of stuff, sometimes appearance matters. And I just think that looks better overall. I've been using my Metabo triple hammer the last 2 days on this framing job just for something different. It's worked out pretty well. I feel like it goes through the batteries faster than my Milwaukee does, though, because normally with what I just framed today, I would have been able to do all of it no problem on one battery of Milwaukee, like a 5 amp hour battery or something like that. And this one, it died out on me. I had to change the battery. Unwired, I missed what are you cleaning tools with? It's Houdini, and I get mine on Amazon, or I go to my lock store if I'm around it in town. They carry it. It's cheaper at my lock store, so if I can get it at my lock store, I get it. But I just got some shipped to me from Amazon. I got one sitting in a bag right here. It was actually in the mail today. I think I've got a link in the description for it. But you can go to Amazon, just search Houdini. Lowe's used to carry it, but they don't carry it anymore. So pretty much the only places I've found it is Amazon and then locksmith stores. I think a lot of locksmiths carry it though, and like it's $15 on Amazon, $14 and something typically. I think at your lock stores, just depends on, like I used to buy mine in cases of 6 or maybe 12. I can't remember, and you'd get a little bit bigger discount. But I think even so, it's still like $10 or something like that. So you might save like $5 a can if you can get it at your lock store. I know this battery needs to be charged. But like I said, it's amazing. Like to me, it works. And the fact that again, I don't know what kind of lubrication you're getting in comparison to using something like Strike Force or something like that, or Ballistol or whatever. But if I do my tools enough, like I clean them all the time, that I've never had really a rust issue, and I don't use anything else on my tools. But if you only did this like once a month or every couple months, it might not have enough lubrication to make it, worth doing it for you. I know that one needs to be charged. Like I said, I spray everything with it. Like here's 3-plane laser. I spray it even on the glass, clean off my glass. Let's see. Bunker Branding Company is in Texas, and they will do just what you want. They'll make the hats and the shirts and ship them out. And it might be something that, like, I've noticed on YouTube, they've got like a brand store option, like where you can actually go and like stores will do stuff like this for you. And I'm sure they get a cut of it or do whatever. But you had to have so many subscribers. I can't remember how many it was. It might have been 20. I wasn't too far away from it, so it might be even something I could look into now. But yeah, I'll look them up and see what it says. Brian Hall, don't be jealous, everyone, but I've got one of his stickers. I know people. LOL. Yeah, I sent him something and sent him a sticker in it. What was it I sent you, Brian? I know I sent you a little extra O light in it too. But what was it? Did you win? You won something, I think, or did I just send you something? I can't remember. Seems like you won one of the something that was a giveaway. But I know I stuck you a little O light in there and then a sticker with it too, I think. And probably one of these days, I don't know when it'll be because I don't want to do it until I know I'm going to have time to go to post office and do several things. But I've got all kinds of stuff like, I don't care to keep tools around if somebody else could use them type thing. But I mean, I've got like this Olight Seeker 4. It's got the ultraviolet on it. That's why I was keeping it. And then I got a bunch of like little Olights that they sent me. But now this Artfield Pro has the ultraviolet on it, so I doubt that I'll ever use this type thing. But I've kind of been keeping a pile of some stuff. Of one of these days, I'm going to do a giveaway of some kind where I go through a lot of tools that were just extras that people sent me, or tools that I bought to try out. And not that they're bad, but I just prefer something else that I have. But I'd rather somebody get them and use them type thing. But I have to wait until I got time to go to post office, and I don't want to get myself in some kind of bind. But probably pretty soon we might do something like that. Time to tool and bake. Uh, I could do that. I I could show y'all how to make a cherry pie. I do that almost like once a month. We have a meal thing together with a bunch of people, and that's everybody always wants me to make a cherry pie. I make one in a cast iron skillet. Let's see. Tough Built going out of business, and Flex 2, Contreras 21 said. I knew that I like Tough Built has pretty much disappeared from Lowe's. And that's kind of crazy. I really thought their pack out type system thing was going to take off because I thought, man, whenever I saw it, I thought that's for one, it looks good, that black color and all that kind of stuff. Of course, some of y'all get black Milwaukee pack out, you're lucky like that. But I really thought the way that it locked together and all those kinds of things and all the stuff they said that was coming down the road with it, which maybe it's going to happen, maybe it's not. I'm assuming if they're going out of business, they probably won't even do any of that stuff. Uh, but it's like they just fell off the map. They don't even have their pouches for sale anymore. I never see those anywhere other than like Menards has some of their bags, but they don't really carry any of that clip tech type pouches and stuff like that. So I don't know what happened to them. It's like they just fell off the map. My frame and screw pouch. Then after I get done cleaning all these, I got to go put them in my truck too. 20,001. No, we're back down to 20,000 now. Congrats, Morgan M. Dunbar. I don't see why you don't have 100K plus subs with the service you do for the MM community. Appreciate that. Why do you think Flex is going out of business? Matthew asked Contreras. My Klein yellow strippers, the ones that do 14, 12, 2, get dirty so easily. Your live videos made me take them out so I can clean them. Yeah, stripper handles, anything in electric, your handles get like, that's why all my screwdrivers like in this look like we went off for a second. I hit reconnect. I don't know if we're still on here or not. So you guys can let me know. Rob says Tough Built's still in the stores in the Netherlands. Yeah, but that's because Rob, y'all get all that stuff. Like y'all get the Super Bowl champions, the losers. Y'all get those T-shirts over there after we're done with them. I'm just messing with you. Y'all get all our hand me downs. That's what y'all end up with, Rob. Brian Hall says I'm driving, but he won a sniffer. Yeah, he won a top test gas leak detector. That's what it was. Uh, Justin said he wants a Morgan's maintenance hat. I'd even put one of your patches on a Milwaukee heated hoodie. Yeah, I bought these waiting for that one Atlas vest to come. I'd had these forever, waiting for that Atlas vest to come so I could stick it on there. I got these on Amazon and they weren't that bad, so that might be something I could buy too. And I might buy me several of these. They weren't that bad because I think I got two of them for it wasn't but for a few dollars. Uh, and I think they were already the. I don't think I had to add anything to them. Some of the stuff I bought on patches I had to make myself because they were like iron on or something, so I had to glue the hook part on or the loop part on, depending upon whatever I was putting it on. But I think these already pretty much came that way, so they're pretty easy to use. I thought they turned out really well. Uh, I was surprised whenever I got them. Let me show you this too, which I was gonna maybe do it in a video, but print 3D designs or printed 3D inserts .com. I'll go ahead and bring it up here. So he's the one that printed out my. He commented on my videos a little bit while ago, but he's the one that printed out my uh, tags on my pack out slim organizers, the wire testicles, and all those. That's who I bought that from. And he saw the videos and told me that he appreciated me putting it on there and all that kind of stuff. And he gave me his regular website, and I put that in the description of those. But he sent me a letter telling me how much he appreciated it, and then sent me this for the pack out drawers. So I thought that was pretty sweet. I haven't put it on there yet. I was going to do it during some video or something or other. So I'll just go ahead and that'd be a little thing for you all that in the live that y'all know that. But I thought that's pretty nice. So it'd go in your. If I had you on this little stand, I'd just take you out there and kind of show you. But on a pack out drawer, it's got a little tag that says Milwaukee, and basically you can pop that out and slap this in there. So I thought that's pretty sweet. So yeah, that's him right there. Pretty cool dude. His name's Tate. I believe that's what his name was Tate. Yeah, Tate. So I appreciate that, Tate. And the weird chance that you're watching this at 70 something minutes in. GSR Bob said lost you at stripper handles, back up now. Yeah, I was saying that if you work with MC cable, conduit, especially like Romex isn't as bad on your handles, like you don't get as much dirt. But if you work in the commercial stuff, like all your screwdriver handles, all your stripper handles, they'll all just get coated in black. Like especially that's one thing I don't like about this vessel slotted is that it's got that orange. I mean, it takes every day that I use it, it's just nasty looking by the end of the day if I'm doing electrical work. So, but again, one spray of Houdini and one wipe with a microfiber cloth, and it's good to go. I've had some people ask me in the comments, like this was normally on my. I normally keep it on my bags with that. I'm here because you broke something, and people were asking me how I put it on there. But I just took a small piece of aluminum. I always answered that in the comments. But again, this is one of those things where to me it's easier to show you stuff than it is for me to write something and try to explain it to you. But this is just a tape measure holder that I took off of a tape measure. And then I had some little scrap pieces of aluminum, stuff like this right here. Except I believe it might have even been a piece of this. I don't know. But I believe it was like a flat piece and not a piece of L angle. But I just took and screwed that to it and then did some of that. I guess this is the hook. Or no, this is the loop because that's the softer. And then again, that would let me, I don't know if this is reversed or not. I have to see. Yeah, so I could clip that on my bag and then put that patch on it. And then it works that way. So that's how I did that. There's been several people ask me that in different videos. And again, I always respond and try to answer the best I can. But sometimes it's hard to answer stuff by writing words versus showing somebody something. 20,001. Let's see. Contreras said, or yeah, Contreras said, check out Lowe's. Their line is slowly disappearing off the shelves. Not a good sign. Yeah, mine hardly has anything tough built. Justin Richards, Rob Holland says Rob Holland, they're moving to Harbor Freight's what Justin Richards said, and Menards. Like Menards, I have seen some. Not everything Lowe's had though, but they do have some tough built stuff. Sounds breaking up, Rob said. It might be fixed now, I hope. I don't know. Phil Lewis says my go-to is Milwaukee M12 first. If that won't do it, M18. So that's exactly what I do basically as well. Heavily invested in M12, M18, and pack out. So you're pretty much exactly like me. It's the same three things I'm in. Michael Thompson, congrats on the subs. Not hard for me to see your success. Your delivery with the Southern accent just makes me want to watch everything. I sit watching the pad and pencil in hand. Yeah, I've had. Well, I guess I won't share it because I don't remember if it was an email or it was a comment, but I've got a comment where somebody basically told me that my accent's what keeps me from, or the way I talk is what keeps me from getting some more subs or something like that. I don't remember how it was worded, but I was like, well, what do you want me to do? Change the way I talk? It's like, this is how I talk. This is how I've talked my whole life. So not going to happen. ZLM, Matt Carricker, who owns Bunker Branding Company, is a solid guy. Also has a couple of cool YouTube channels. TPG's getting to go home. GSR Bob, just got that MP2X because your vid on it. Just tried it out yesterday in place of my Diamondback. Might be running it more now. I like the easy on and off. Yeah, I really like it. I don't carry my MP1 as much now. I thought I'd still go back and forth. Let me get it off here. I use this. I kind of left it. I just leave this on my vest, and then I use it on my vest whenever I was using it. But I thought I'd keep using. I actually like the layout of the MP1. But now that I've got the electric vessel, I like to carry 3 screwdrivers because then I just use my 2 dedicateds and then I'll put something weird in that or a small slotted or something like that. So this one actually won't let me really fit 3 screwdrivers and the pliers I want. But now that I've used the clip, it's hard for me to want to go back and mess with putting this on and off all the time. So I feel like the X versions of the Veto MPs, me personally, I like them better now. I've had a few comments on those videos of people saying that the clip digs into their hip and stuff like that, but I've got a little bit of cushion on my hip, so I don't have to worry about it but maybe some people have that problem, but I prefer the clip for sure over that buckle deal. I never minded the buckle, but I prefer the clip. Wish we could post pics here in the chat. Yeah, me too. I wish we could post pics like I said, even if they don't want to let just everybody post pics in the comment section of videos, I feel like they should let the channel person, like, because it would be a lot, again, easier for me when people ask some questions for me to take a picture of my answer and send them a picture than trying to figure out, well, what words do I need to use to try to explain this in a way that they're going to understand it. Like I said, I get why you just don't let everybody post pictures in the comment section because then who knows what that would turn into. But it seems like to me you would let the channel, like whoever's the person on the channel, post pictures and replies and stuff like that. Tank Tickler said, congrats, brother. Appreciate it. Abraham Perez, oh, that reminds me that video of you and Miss Morgan reading the mean tweet style video. Yeah, I'm still working on it. We're going to do that at some point in time. I couldn't agree more on the Vessel and the MPX. And very much agree with you on the Veto MPX series, Rob Holland says. This didn't get that dirty. I only used it for one cut. Now my circular saws, I tend to not really go crazy cleaning those because I only make cuts with these typically outside. I'm not going to use them in somebody's home, but I do like to get all the dust off of them. I believe I about got her. Take care of your tools and they'll take care of you. 100% agree with that. I'm surprised you don't have the super chat turned on. Seems to be pretty popular with streamers these days to get a little extra coffee money. I didn't know that I didn't have it turned on, but I didn't know I had it turned off if I had it turned off. Uh, that's like Vegan was always asking me, see if I could drop it down to 99 cents or something or other. And I don't know how you do that either. So I'm lucky that I can make videos and post them and make thumbnails and all that stuff. Uh, I don't know how you turn the super chat and all that stuff on. There's a little dollar sign down there next to the chat thing on mine. I thought that might be super thanks or something. I don't know what the difference is too between there's a super thanks and a super chat and all that. I don't really know what the difference is on that. Let me come. I think I'm done cleaning. Let me get y'all off there. I think the wife's going walking. I just heard her car start. I'm gonna get y'all off this thing. There's my kayaks hanging up there in the roof. 20,002. So there's the aftermath of most of clean. I need to get in there a little bit. Where'd my Houdini go? So not too bad. Didn't have too much to clean. It wasn't crazy, but enough. Like I said, that would have taken me probably 10 minutes if I wasn't chatting and all that. Now I can get y'all moved down a little bit closer, maybe not have to look at tools. So Justin's been in the solar fields. TPG's been at the accounting office. What have the rest of y'all been working on this week? I don't think I got anything else I was going to show y'all. I did get my Pintail graph gears. I bought a couple of those at the $8 and whatever. I know several people bought them because I saw it in my Amazon thing. Did any of y'all buy any of these Pintails while they were on sale? I got mine in the mail just the other day. Appreciate that, Matt HMM. Rob's been off work this week. What a lazy bum. Did you do anything fun? HVACKR says, I thought Houdini was for a lubricant. It is. That's what I bought it for originally. It's for a lock lubricant, but it's for also electric locks as well. I actually bought it for that because I used to deal with a lot of keypad locks. And so that was basically my maintenance. I went and bought some to use for that. And I love the smell of it, and everything I put it on, it was cleaning it like crazy. And I was like, well, if it's for electric locks, like electronic locks and stuff like that, and you can spray it on those, I'm going to start trying to clean my tools with them. And then ever since then, like I said, I've been doing it for 10 years, probably been using it on my tools. And it's an expensive, I mean, it's not cheap, but a can of it lasts me for quite a while. Like, and I go through it like crazy because I clean my stuff all the time. Like if you didn't clean your stuff like crazy, it'd last you a really long time. But I go through several just because of how much I use it. But I might go through Probably 4 or 5 cans a year, or something like that, at the most, if that. Because again, most of the time, whenever I come out, it's maybe one spray. Like these, I had them on a job site for like 3 days, 3 or 4 days, drywall dust like crazy, all that kind of stuff, demo work going on. So they've all gotten quite a bit dirtier. But if I take care of it, as soon as I'm done using it, I get out to my truck. I've got a can sitting in the back by my deck drawers. I've got a can sitting there by where I put my tools in my cab, and I just right before I put it up, I just and wipe it off, stick it in the drawer. And it doesn't take me 2 seconds. But again, I don't do that if I'm going to use the tool for several days in a row. I just go ahead and wait till I'm done using it because there's no sense in cleaning it and then turning around and just 20 minutes later, getting it all gobbed up again. Rob said he was sick, sadly enough, but he's getting better. Well, I'm glad to hear that, buddy. Matt HMM says that lube cleans plastic so well. Yeah, it makes your black stuff, like your grips and stuff, like it makes them turn around. Like I said, that's what everybody always on my videos are like, I don't think you use your tools or whatever. I get that comment. You'll see that in the mean tweets thing 1,000 times, but it's like this thing was literally caked in drywall dust. I mean, just a little bit ago, and you wouldn't know that that's not, brand new, like out of the box, other than looking up inside of the little black ring up there. But and again, I've not had it cause any problem with my grips. But again, at your own risk, I'm not telling you to do it. You, I'm just telling you, I've done it for 10 years, zero problems. Had a couple axis motors that he had to change. M. Dunbar said, I used to fix CNC machines at Leatherman. Yeah, that's what Matt said he used to do. Most of our stuff was old German stuff from the 40s through the 70s. Haters gonna hate with the I don't think you use your tool comments. Yeah, I've got a which I'm gonna wait until I do that video with my wife about the mean tweets. I don't want to say everything that I'm gonna say in that about that, but it's comical to me that. And again, I'm not saying that there's not some people out there that get tools and never use them and do reviews, but I honestly don't feel like there's very many. There might be some that don't use them as much anymore because they've got so many subscribers that they've turned full-time YouTuber and not contractor. And I'll tell you now, I'm never going to do that because I like working. I like doing what I do. So I'm not. I like YouTube as much as I like it. It's more so comment with y'all and everything else, but I don't like making videos near as much as I like going and remodeling something and doing whatever. That's what I prefer to do. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm sure I just don't see why anybody would get into if you wanted to pick something on YouTube to specifically make money on. I don't think the tool review game is the one that you'd want to get into because there's a very select audience for that, even though there is a big audience, but it's nothing compared to several of the other things out there that you could do instead and make a whole lot more money if you wanted to. So I don't see the logic behind that. And plus this costs you money. Like if I'm gonna buy tools to make a review for, there's a lot of things I could do and it wouldn't cost me anything to do videos for. And so it would be 100% profit again if money was what your game was. But yeah, some people just don't get it that not everybody does the same thing as somebody else. Again, if all I did was work on job sites with no customers and I did like building houses and stuff with it's just me and other contractors in there, and then the house is done, we leave and go to the next one, and then the real estate agent puts it up for sale and not a single person ever sees you, then it's not near as important, even though I would still do it for a taking care of my stuff side of things. But there's a whole nother side of things of certain customers in certain locations, certain, economic wealth and all that kind of stuff. They're going to hire somebody on appearance. Doesn't matter if you're the best contractor in the world or not. Doesn't matter. I mean, doesn't matter. If you don't look the part, they don't want you in their house. They're not going to feel safe. They're not going to feel all sorts of things along with that. Again, clean tools to me is just part of that. Again, I'm not saying you can't make a living never cleaning your tools. Just depends on what you do. You wouldn't be able to make a living doing what it is that I do for the customers I work for because they wouldn't hire you back again. And again, I can make more money working for those customers and do less work and spend time cleaning my tools. it all equals out to the same. It's like I could go and make less money working for customers who don't care, and then save some time cleaning my tools, but I'm going to have to work more to make more money. So it all equals out to be the same thing. You're still going to spend the same amount of time. I'd rather do less work, make more money. Mm-mm. Going to track down some Houdini. Like I said, Amazon has it unwired. I put a link in the description for this if you want to look at it, and you can just see what it says. And it ranges on Amazon. Sometimes it's like $14. I've seen it for like 11, but it's very rare. But if you find a locksmith in your area, like a person that makes keys and does locks specifically, that's all they do. Like not Home Depot's key place or any of that stuff. And you call them up and ask them, they probably got it, or they can get it for you, and it's probably going to be quite a bit cheaper. It's at least $5 cheaper typically at my locksmith than what it is on Amazon. Matt HMM says my Walmart's carried. I've seen it on Walmart.com. My Walmart doesn't have it, but I've seen it on Walmart.com. Too legit to quit. LOL. No tool advertisements. Yeah, I don't think you're ever going to see me break into the middle of this for some keeps or anything either. So I don't know if that's ever going to happen. It's just so much. I just can't see myself. Again, I'm not going to say never. I don't. I mean, somebody just offers me something crazy, and then I can turn off the ads and just make their own ad if they're going to pay me or do whatever more than YouTube would. But I just don't see my like getting involved with companies and things like that. Even though you can make money, I guess it's just like I don't have the time to do all that stuff. And it's like I said, I could probably get to the point where I could make more money doing that than even doing my own job at some point. Maybe. I doubt it, but maybe. But I like doing my job, so I'm not going to quit doing it. So it doesn't matter. And that's like I get stuff from lots of companies. I turn down way more stuff to do videos for than what I do. Like I said, the only time I will get a product to do a video for right now is because it's something that I think I could use, or it's something that I think I know a lot of you could use. Even if I wouldn't use it, I'm willing to look at it and show y'all about it because I know y'all enough. I know what I mean. Y'all do similar things to me. So even though you might be in a little bit different trade, if it's something that I feel like if I was doing that line of work all the time, I think that this would be pretty useful. It's not going to be as useful for me because I don't do that all the time, but I'm willing to get it to show you guys. But then, like I said, there's all kinds of stuff like Beaver contacts me like crazy, asking me for stuff, asking to send me stuff. And I don't need any of that kind of stuff. I'm not going to use it. So Matt HMM Stewie from Tool Guy does things well. Not many stay non-influencer. MC Hammer approves this message. Too legit to quit. When you burn and turn tools, you are far less efficient since you don't care how long it took to do the task. You work harder, not smarter, plus you're poor. Yeah, it costs you way more money to buy multiple tools over and over again. Like I said, you can buy cheaper tools and you might end up buying, and not always, like I said at the very beginning of this, you might buy a really cheap tool and it might last you 100 years. You never know. But let's say I buy five $20 tools where I could have bought $100 tool that does the same thing, but I had to buy five of them because they kept tearing up. It's like there's a lot of downtime involved with going and buying the tool, and then again, it's probably not the tool that you really want. You're just buying it because it's cheap, and it probably doesn't function as well, even though it might still get the job done. But it's probably not as enjoyable to use. But if over the long haul you're gonna spend $100 on cheap tools, it's like I'm always been in the mindset of I'm just gonna buy the one that I want, because if not, the whole time I'm using that $20 tool, I'm just gonna be thinking, man, I bet that $100 tool is a lot better than this one. I bet it does something better. And again, I've been burnt a few times where I went and bought the $100 tool thinking it was gonna be better, and it's not, or it doesn't last as long, or whatever. But there's plenty of times where it has worked out for me that way, that it's worth trying it, in my opinion, because I'm just that type that I'd rather spend the money up front and then enjoy using the tool that I picked up, because enjoyment of the job is a big thing to me. It's like I like to enjoy what I'm doing. I don't like to be frustrated with my tools. I don't like to be frustrated with the things that are going on around me. I like to be able to I like to pick out different tools. Even sometimes, like I said, I just use that triple hammer for the last 2 days framing. I normally use my Surge or my M18 Surge or whatever it is, but I thought, these next 2 days, I'm going to use this one just to use something different, just to get a little bit different feel. It's like starting over again with a new tool type thing. So it's just fun to do that sometimes. But again, you buy better quality tools. I think that you just enjoy using them more, in my opinion, or I do. Absolutely agree. Not going to go into a $5 million house with dirty, dusty tools and trucks. Won't get past the big gates. LOL. Yeah, there's some of them that, like I said, you might do that job that day, but you can be guaranteed you're not going back again. They might not tell you up front, hey, I don't think I want you in my house, but they for sure will not call you again. You can be guaranteed of that. And it's so few and far between to find people who work that way that once you find a customer that cares about that, it's like that's the thing I said it in my video about why I clean my tools, or you're a YouTube scammer, you keep your tools too clean, all that kind of stuff. Uh, all my customers, probably 80% of them, just call me and say, Joey, I've got this going on. Can you come fix it? There isn't, hey, Joey, I'd like to do this. Can you get me a price for that? And then I got to spend time going to their house, looking at it, getting them a price. They're getting prices from other people. So then I got to worry about, well, what's somebody else's price going to be? And then they take the low person, all that. That's not how my customers roll. They just call me up and say, Joey, I want you to come do it because I know your work. I know what you're going to do. I know you're going to come in my house. I don't even have to be home while you're in my house, because they can tell by looking at me and the way my mannerisms are and all those kinds of things. My tools are clean. You look professional. I very rarely have to give an estimate. Very rarely, ever. And sometimes it's like this, unless it's a big job. And even like this one that I'm doing right now, I could have gave an estimate, but I didn't really want to because it was going to be really hard to do an estimate for it, and they were just like, well, we don't care if you just do it and just tell us how much it is every so often, let us know where you're at, type thing. So that's what I'm doing with that. And again, I'd rather do that all day of the week than have to go around chasing jobs and bidding against people that don't have insurance and bidding against people that don't care about what they do, all those kinds of things. It's just not worth it to me. Andy Tomberlin, I see dirty tools at pawn shops all the time. Lead me to believe that people that don't care for their tools don't take care of their finances either. It, like I said, I'm not going to say everybody that has dirty tools, you're a certain thing. The same way as I'm going to say everybody that's got clean tools, I'm not saying they work with them. There could be some people who have clean tools and they very rarely use them. They just sit and stare at them. And if you do, that's cool. I mean, I like looking at tools myself, but we can't ever just judge everybody by one standard. There's maybe a reason why somebody cleans their tools, and there's maybe another reason why some people don't. There may be some people who are so busy, like I mean, slammed with work so much, and then they work like in just a horrible, nasty conditions all the time, day in and day out, and it would be impossible for them to keep their tools clean. Like, I mean, if they're just in something all the time, and then it's like, and if they did actually clean them, it would take them a long time because of how dirty they get, and they just run through tools like crazy because of the jobs that they do and because they're so backed up. Hey, there's reasons why to not have clean tools, and there's just like I said, I've got some beater tools that I use that I don't spend as much time cleaning, that I purposely get out whenever I run into a job like that I know is like just horrible, going to be nasty. It's going to, the same thing. I don't take my Veto bags. I don't drag them around under a house. I don't do all those kinds of things. It's like, there's certain tools that I'm willing to, hey, however this turns out for them, however nasty they get, it is what it is. But the bulk of my tools, I try to keep in shape to where I could take them in somebody's house if that's what I need to do. Handy Fixer, congrats on the milestone. Appreciate it. Matt HMM, if I hear bit stripping or smell extreme burning on oscillating tools, I get after people. They clearly aren't using it well. It gets me mad and costs me money. And the burning smell on an oscillating tool, I mean, you do that in somebody's house, that smell doesn't just go away very fast. Again, it just depends on your customer. Some customers could care less. They just want you to be the cheapest person, but that's not my customer. Rock Red B, sir, which tape measure is the best, Milwaukee or DeWalt LED light? I only got the Milwaukee one, but I've got a video for it if you haven't seen it. But the DeWalt one, I didn't buy it, but I looked at it in the store. I've got a little clip of it inside of that video of the Milwaukee one. The light on the Milwaukee one is for sure brighter, but the DeWalt one, I think the tape's better myself. So they're kind of gimmicky, but I could see in the right situation, like if you work outside a lot at night, building decks, like you work into the evening hours or really early in the morning, and you're at a miter saw station, and I mean, typically I would just put a clip on my hat or something like that, or something along that line. But there's a place for it for certain people. It is gimmicky in my opinion, but for some people it would be a really good option. But I don't know. I didn't really get the DeWalt out and try it. I've got the Milwaukee one, but I don't have the DeWalt one, so I don't know. I don't know specifics on the DeWalt. I don't know how long it would last. I know DeWalt tape measures typically are better or last longer than Milwaukee, in my opinion, but I don't really know for sure. GSR Bob, don't necessarily have to wear a suit. I wore Chuck Taylor jeans and Under Armour shirt most of the time. Yeah, I mostly wear. I mean, I keep clothes in my truck in case I go, because like the last 2 or 3 days I've worked on a job site where like it's just me, so I'll wear shirts and I'm demoing and stuff, so I'm not going to wear my nice clothes in there to do that kind of work. But I always keep clothes in my truck for in case I get a service call that I'm going to go to after I leave that job and I'm covered in drywall dust and all that kind of stuff. I can at least change shirts or whatever. So I'm not walking into somebody's house that's covered in drywall dust and shaking it off on their floors and everything else. But yeah, I don't wear like crazy nice clothes or anything. I just wear normal. I mean, most people expect, if you're a worker, you're gonna not be wearing a shirt and tie and a suit to, fix their kitchen faucet and things like that. But I still wear, clean stuff. Some tools I get are what I call consumables. Consumables, Harbor Freight picks, and Husky 5-in-1s for cleaning roof moss. They actually wear off, and then you can warranty them out. It's always a good idea. I don't like either of the LED ones. They are clunky. Then Chameleon is decent and much cheaper. Yeah, they've got another that LED light. A lot of people recommended that one in the video with my Milwaukee one. So and said that that one was better. Again, I've not used it either, so I don't know. I'm curious, how do the regular bits hold up compared to the Milwaukee bits? I've used the long ones that came in one of mine. I keep those in my truck all the time, but the other ones I've put them in my bit storage cases along with all my other gazillion bits over here. So I haven't really ever used them. I just took them out and made my own. So I don't really know. I don't know longevity wise. The times that I've used them, they've been fine, but I haven't really like used them like until they broke or anything. Again, I keep a set of the long ones in my truck in case I need something slim to get back in somewhere. So even with those, I only get them out the times whenever I need them for like a certain thing. So I haven't used them a lot, but I've not had any problems with them. I don't know if anybody else has. What's up, Tool Truck Trails? Appreciate it on the 20K. Difference between craftsman and slop artist. You have exactly one opportunity to make a first impression. Look like it matters because it matters to the customer. Yeah, 100%. They've got a perspective, and it doesn't matter how you do business. It doesn't matter certain things. Like I said, you could be the best carpenter, the best electrician, the best plumber, the best whatever that you are in your trade. You could be the best one out there, the best one in your whole entire city, whatever it is. But when you go to a person's house for the first time, they don't know anything about you. And really, they don't know enough about plumbers and electricians and carpenters and stuff like that to know questions to ask to even figure out, hey, is this person like the person I need? They're going to have to just gamble on letting you do some work for them and see if it turns out how they want. But it doesn't matter how good you are if their perspective of you the first time they see you and all that stuff is like, ooh, I don't know about this guy. I mean, look at what he pulled up in. He's got, he's wearing a belly shirt and no sleeves and, just all kinds of stuff going on and whatever else. Again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of that. I'm not saying that you can't show up to people's houses that way and still make a living and do all those things, but there's going to be some customers, doesn't matter what you think about yourself, there's going to be some customers that are just going to be like, no. They're going to say, well, can you give me an estimate? And then it doesn't matter if your estimate comes in $1,000 cheaper than somebody else, they're still not going to hire you because they don't want you in their house. That's just bottom line. Hmm. Regular bit rails for me are fine. My Allen key ball end ones are decent. Matt HMM said that's the main ones that I use, and I only use them in screwdrivers too. So again, I couldn't tell you they hold up just fine for me as far as how I've used them. Uh, Rockbread B says DeWalt tape measures always peel off. I haven't bought any DeWalt tape measures since. I don't know if I've got any hanging out here or not. I'm sure I got some in these drawers. I got 1,000 tape measures in this drawer. Um, they used to sell these, and they probably still do. They used to sell these in 2 packs, like for nothing at Home Depot, especially on Black Fridays and stuff. And I mean, I bet I bought the fire out of these things. I probably got, you know, there's more of them. There's another one. I've got gobs of them. I do like these Irwin ones. These have been pretty nice. Uh, but I got just gobs of tape measures. I've tried the Milwaukee stud ones. I've tried all the Milwaukee ones, and they work good for a while. The Milwaukee ones always do real bad at, I don't know if I got any of them up here doing it, but whenever I get out real far with a Milwaukee one after using it for, two months or so, they always start doing, that twist on me like that whenever you go out. And then that just, it really tees me off whenever it's doing that because then you can't never hook it on anything. So that's what made me quit buying Milwaukee ones. But I have really liked like I said, this Tough Bit one's been crazy nice. It is starting to fail, but I have used it a lot, and it's not failing, it's not twisting, it's not doing any of that stuff. But it's whenever I take it out real far, it's not retracting unless I kind of help it along, and then once it gets close, it starts doing it. So anytime I'm measuring a long board or something like that, I've always got to bring it back in a little bit, and then it kind of catches. But I really like the button on the bottom of this. I mean, I've liked everything about this tape measure, but again, I don't know that you're going to be able to find them anymore. And the only other one I've used a lot, other than that one there too, is the Irwins. And I just bought myself a 16 footer of this one not too long ago, but they've worked out pretty well for me. I've used them quite a bit. These two are the two I've been using the most here lately. I'm pretty hard on tape measures. It's not a tool that I treat with kid gloves. I mean, I sling mine out and all, but I just go through them. I try, even though it is an important tool and you don't want to just beat the fire out of it, but at the same time, you got to keep some kind of speed. They're not crazy expensive, so it doesn't matter to me if I really tear one up. If they don't have marking on both sides, I don't care much for them. Let's see. Matt always says he likes the Tajima. Rockbed B says Milwaukee stud tapes. I haven't. I noticed that the pipeline, they said they was coming out with a bunch of new Milwaukee tapes, but I haven't really used the stud ones that much. But I think it's because I've only got 25-foot ones, and it doesn't have the marking on the other side. I don't know if the new ones are going to have that or not. But I typically grab 16 footers most of the time whenever I'm working. It's just specific jobs I get out that 25 footer. It's very rare I need to measure 25 foot because if I'm doing measurements like that, it's more than anything, it's estimating, and I use my laser distance measure for that. So 16 is usually most I need for working. Tools Tools Truck Trail says, even how you leave the screws in the wood on a project. Those of us who appreciate symmetry and precision can't stand looking at screws in our decks and pergolas that are off center. Yeah, like if you're going to put screws in deck boards, they need to be in a straight line. Like you can't just, oh, I'm gonna guess and I think this is this, and next thing you know, it's like it's doing this, even if it's just slight. You know, I'm real bad about that. It drives my wife crazy whenever like we go out to eat or if we go to the movies. Like I'm constantly, I can be in a bathroom at a urinal and I'm sitting there staring at or at grout lines and stuff in the tile and seeing how wonky it is, or I'm looking at ceiling tiles at the movies, being like, "Look at that up there; it looks like garbage." And I'm just that like I'm constantly looking at that kind of stuff, and it drives me crazy whenever I see stuff like that. Same thing with like the screws on your outlet covers. It's like the whole house those screws should be the exact same way. Now, I don't care if it's vertical or horizontal. It just needs to be one of those two, and it needs to be all the way. I always do horizontal, but I know most people are vertical. But it needs to be one of the two. It can't be anywhere else. If it's anywhere between vertical and horizontal, you are a psycho, in my opinion. That's just crazy. Rob Hollins off the mid, past 12 here. Congrats. Appreciate that, buddy. Hope you get feeling better. Crescent makes a good tape measure. Milwaukee wide blade with measurements on the bottom side too. Do you ever send your wife to get parts that you may have forgotten? Yeah, she's even went and picked up tools and stuff for me because sometimes I'm not in town where I work. She works in the same town I typically work in all the time, like every day. And sometimes I'll work outside of that town, like in the rural areas or something like that, and I'll see that something was on sale or something else, or I know I'm going to need a part for something, but I thought I'd be going to town that day. So yeah, she's making trips to Lowe's and stuff for me pretty regularly for different things. What are your thoughts on the DeWalt 12-inch speed square? I don't think I've got a DeWalt one. The only 12-inch one I think I've got is it's either a Stanley or an Irwin. I can't remember which one of the two it is. I wanted to say it's a Stanley, I guess. And I don't use it very often, so that's why I haven't really bought very many 12-inch squares, speed squares. I got a lot of 12-inch, like bigger squares that are framing squares, combination squares, those kinds of things. But speed square, I might mainly use the little trim square. I'm surprised there isn't one in my um, vest. I thought I had it in a little slot, but like the Milwaukee one up there, they got that little trim square. And 9 times out of 10, that's what I've got in my pocket just because it fits everywhere easier. Even if I've got to mark both sides, sometimes I'd still do it and carry that small one just because it's easier to deal with. Snapping a line on a deck isn't the end of the world to make sure you're straight. Yeah, it takes a matter of seconds, and then like you're at the end. And that's the thing to me is the difference between doing a really good job and a decent job is very little. It's all effort. It's not really. It's not even drastically that much more time. It doesn't really take drastically that much more skill. It's just effort. Somebody has to decide, I want to take the time to take my chalk line and do a straight line here and then put my screws on that line. And even, you know, take take you a little ruler, mark you a line on it so you know how far from the edge of the board you're coming in every time or whatever. And then it's a matter of just setting that ruler down. It's the same motion. You're taking your impact and putting a screw in. With this hand, you're just taking a ruler or whatever, some kind of little gauge that you made yourself and sticking it on the edge of the board just so you know my screw is going to go right here. And then it's like every single one of them will be repetitive, exactly the same. Little extra time, very little extra time, very little extra skill, just a little bit more effort is involved in it. Matt HMM says he's a psycho. He doesn't pay attention to screw finish. Really, people don't care much about that around me. Yeah, I don't know that a customer probably ever even notices it, but I do. Like it's like whenever I walk, if I'm looking at two receptacles in the same room and I see the screws out of whack, I'm like, oh my gosh, who did this? What a psycho. People don't use 12-inch speed squares. If you need more, use an extendable 7-inch square like a Husky or Crescent. Rockbread B says he does tiling work for a living. Apache says I have to have a saying. Why can't it be systematic? Installing a straight line of screws, cleaning the surface off, etc. A little goes a long way. What's up, Joey? By the way, appreciate that, Apache. Yeah, you're right. It's like I said, it's just a little bit more effort is all it takes, and it's like the difference between a job with just a little bit more effort is night and day. Like all it takes is somebody that cares, basically, somebody who takes pride in what the end result is going to look like. Like I said, there's very few people that think about screw placement and all that kind of stuff. But it all matters in the overall look of things, especially if you've got other tradesmen and stuff that are going to look at your work. Like I said, a random person, if you do work in a restaurant and you build something or whatever, most of the people that come in there and, look and sit down and eat, they're never going to see whatever it is that you're looking at. Like most people, whenever they're at a urinal, aren't staring at grout lines and saying, man, I don't know what they did here, but this is a mess. But the people who actually do the same work as you, like, and that's who, like, I would want to try to impress if I was going to try to impress anybody. they're going to stare at it every time they're there. And I don't want somebody saying, well, I don't know who the goober is that did this, but man, they need to hang it up. They need to quit doing whatever it is. Because that's all I do whenever I'm out at places and I'm doing whatever. I'm looking at the end result of people's construction, looking at their work and seeing what I like about it. Again, there's things that I see too that I'm like, man, somebody did a really good job on this. I don't know who did this, but they did a really good job. JTX Tools said, congratulations. Appreciate that. Where can you buy the original DeWalt battery? No fake. I would guess Lowe's or Home Depot or some of that place. I probably not eBay or Amazon. I wouldn't risk it on that. I tell the helpers and workers, if you're doing something a specific way, do it for everything. It makes you faster and better. You have repetitive motion and repetitive results. It's the same way with anybody. Like if you practice a sport and you continue to shoot free throws over and over and over again, and you do it the same exact way, you're eventually going to get better at shooting free throws as long as you're shooting that same way. But if you try to change it up, it's going to change everything. You got to start all over again. Apache said you're spot on. That's what we get the callbacks and referrals for more work. I have a drywall guy that is very reasonable price, but it's the level of detail in his work. I pay him more for it. Yeah, once I've got a sub, like I've got subs that do everything that I do too, because there's some times where I just don't have time to do stuff, and then like I'm just like, well, I'm gonna have to get somebody to do it. And I hire the same subs every time, and I don't care what they're like. I tell my customer if they don't like my subs price, I'm like, well, you've got to find somebody then, because he's the only one that I use, or she's the only one I use for whatever this is, because I'm not going to use somebody else and it be attached to my job. That can be your own thing if you want to, and you can hire whoever you want to do that part of the job, and that way it's your responsibility. But if you're wanting me to be responsible for it, there's only a certain amount of people that I'm willing to allow to do some work around me, for me, stuff that I'm going to be responsible for that's going to affect my work after they're done with it, all those kinds of things. It's very important to find really good subcontractors and keep them happy. And the more you use the same ones, the more they know what you expect. So it kind of the same thing what Matt was just saying, even though it's a different subject, it's still repetitive. The more that someone else works for you, they know what your expectations are. So they know whenever they're coming to your job, well, I can't get away with this or I can't get away with that. And there's also the more that you use a subcontractor, the same ones, whenever you're in a bind and they do work for you all the time, you can call them up and be like, hey, I really need somebody to come do this for me. I really need it done soon. They'll stop whatever they're doing and come do it for you because you do the same thing for them or whatever it is. You always get that real close group of contractors whenever you work that way. Contreras says when you leave the job site, I can bet that the homeowner's in there looking at everything. Yeah, 100% guarantee you that they are. I'd almost like to set up a little hidden camera to see their facial expressions and then see what they do, what they look at, and then more than anything, see what they say, whenever you're done. I think that would be incredible feedback. If you did a job and then you left and then left a camera running or something or other and got to hear what they said about it while you weren't in the room, those kinds of things. I think that'd be pretty nice. Apache says, drives me nuts at work on the control panels for low voltage when they leave their wire clippings on the ground. I picked up 2 whole handfuls today. My brother-in-law used to ask me why I did that. Yeah. Or you open up, the thing with me is attics and crawl spaces and stuff. When you get up there and you can see somebody just cut loose something, and instead of, and most of the time it's not even that much stuff. Like I get it that some people leave something crazy underneath of a house, like a whole unit or something. If you're working by yourself and you told the customer it's going to be an extra or whatever for me to get this unit out, and they're like, well, I don't want to pay that, just leave it down there. Again, that's up to you whether or not you just want to say, well, that's not something I'm willing to do or whatever. But if it's their house and they say I don't want to pay for it, well, whatever. But sometimes people just leave, they can even leave wire. They'll cut off a piece of wire that's extra or something this big and just throw it off to the side, sitting on the top of the insulation. It's like, why did you not just pack that down? You probably left the attic with nothing in your hand, crawled down the steps. It's like, why did you not keep that in your hand and bring it with you? It drives me crazy. Home Depot sells original DeWalt batteries. I never know Amazon sells fake ones. Yeah, I would never risk buying. I probably wouldn't even buy power tools on Amazon, to be honest with you. Every now and then there's crazy good deals on there, but there's just so many stuff. There's so much stuff on there that could be fake that I don't risk it. And I like, I like to have my Home Depot receipt for the warranty reasons in case I need it. And I get perk points at Home Depot if you get gift cards for every so often. It's just like, it's very little extra more money to go buy it at the store. I just assume buy mine at the store, not chance getting a fake one, and not knowing it. Now he sees the difference of when we do work and when they do work. Yeah, I can't tell you again how many jobs I probably get because I don't really know. That's the reason. I'm just saying I know that the customers that call me, they say stuff along the lines of, it's, oh, well, I didn't even know that you couldn't even tell you were in here today. Those kinds of things. You get those kind of comments as far as when you leave and it just looks like, nobody was even in my house as far as everything's working, but it doesn't even look like you were here type thing. But the last company that I worked for, I, where I worked at before, I did the facilities manager, maintenance, all that stuff. But in between there, I went and worked and did project management, and then also worked in the field in commercial construction. And we did a lot of work at the mall in our town. Like almost every job, anything that was the mall's responsibility, we did it. Like sometimes whenever like a Bed Bath and Beyond leases a spot or Bath and Body Works or whatever, the tenant is responsible for certain things, and then the mall itself is responsible for certain things. But we would always do the mall's portion, and then occasionally the tenant would go ahead and hire us to do whatever too. But the mall would only hire us, and it's 100%. The whole reason why was because we were clean. Because you can't afford to have someone just come in there guns blazing and create a dust storm in Abercrombie and Fitch, and then all that stuff leaches out of the front doors and then goes into Victoria's Secret and Bath and Body Works and the Cinnabon and all that other stuff. And it's like, so, and they had too many people that did that. Like, so they were like, we can't hire like any of those people. Like, you cannot hire them. So we got every job out there. Like, it was just wasn't even a question. It was the same thing. Like I said, they just called us up and said, we've got this work that needs to be done. If you can kind of get us a ballpark price of what you think it's going to be, and then put us on the schedule. That's how that worked out. And it was 100%. I know it was because we were clean. That's the whole reason why we got it. All those jobs. Matt HMM, cleaning hours are on the bill for us, but when people are happy, they don't care. If they complain about the money, they aren't the customer for us. That's exactly what I say all the time. It's like, if you don't like my price includes certain things. It includes me being on time, it includes me being clean, it includes me having the stuff, and doing a good job and doing it the way that it's supposed to be done. It might take me a little longer than somebody else because of all those factors. So therefore it's going to cost you more money. And if that's not important to you, then I'm not your contractor. You need to go find the lowest price. Because again, I'm not going to spend all my time, especially you work for yourself and you're it. Like I don't have a office staff that I've got 3 or 4 guys going out and bidding jobs, and then I'm going around doing work. It's like I'm bidding jobs and I'm doing the work. I don't want to waste my time going around bidding jobs that I'm not going to get because I know I'm not going to be the lowest person. So like if somebody wants a cheap price, I'm like, it's not me. It will not be me. Will never be me. Can guarantee it's not going to be me. It's not going to be the case. I think my wife might have just got home. Let's see. Matt, I agree with your comments on tape measures. Prefer the double sided also. Is the Knipex stuff sold on Amazon legit? All of it I bought on Amazon has been, as far as Knipex, because a lot of the stuff that you want, you can't find it at a local store, anyways. But I haven't had any problem with Knipex stuff on Amazon. Let's see. I only bought and sold and shipped by Amazon, Matt HMM. We are only 3 people ourselves, me, a skilled worker, and a helper. Yeah, I prefer a small group, and I prefer doing. I don't want to get into doing like I could go into. There's plenty of companies that have wanted to hire me to do project management and work for the big companies and do these $1 million jobs, and those kinds of things. I have no interest in that. I like to. my whole thing about my job is I like the satisfaction of the end result. Like, so that's really why I like service work, because it comes so much faster. Like, it's that day, it's instant. I go to someone's house, something's broke, and then I fixed it, and it's like boom, there's that feeling that I've been looking for. So I like to do stuff that at least is only going to take me, you know, 2 weeks at the most, 3 weeks, something like that. I don't like getting into those 6 month jobs and stuff like that. Now, I am going to be doing that on this quadplex that I'm going to be building, but I'm GCing it. So it's not going to tie me up physical labor wise, except for the interior work. So I won't be doing like, it'll probably be like a 6 month, 8 month project or something like that when it's all said and done by the time you get the land developed and all that kind of stuff. But it's not going to be me physically being there. And it's for a customer that I do a lot of other work for, so that's why I'm doing it. But I like I like the end result more than anything. So I like a smaller group of people, smaller jobs, those kinds of things. No health insurance, just straight pay. You will find that people who want to be there and money talks. I use KC tools for my Knipex and NWS tools, Contreras says. Well, I think the wife got home. She's done walking as well, and we've been on here for probably a couple hours at least. It looks like, but we hit 20,000. We even got to 20,005. We're not quite 30,000 yet, but I don't think I can stand out here till 30,000. I got to go in there and get my bra sweat off. You can see my bra sweat kicking in right there, and then I also got to get my tools put up because I still do have to work tomorrow, so I got to get all my tools back in my truck. But I won't be using these, thankfully. I got some electrical work I think I got to do tomorrow, but it's more than anything going to be troubleshooting stuff, I think. So I don't think I'm going to be delving into the power tool action. I think I lost my chat real fast. Flexibility in scheduling also attracts people like a magnet as long as people are above reproach and you don't have a reason to question them. KC tool seems expensive. I just didn't like the shipping on the KC tool, but I have bought from them. I liked it, but I don't like any place where I've got to pay shipping. It doesn't matter to me how much the shipping is. I don't like paying it for whatever reason. Uh, but I'm gonna go ahead and get off here, guys. I'm glad y'all were all able to get on here. I went ahead and just started it. I didn't do a notification or anything like that because I needed to clean my tools. And like I said, I just decided I'm gonna set up a camera out here so I got somebody to talk to while I'm doing it, and then we'll see if I hit 20,000, which we did. We're at 20,005. So I appreciate all y'all that have subscribed over the years. It's crazy. 20,000 is crazy. The fact that it's been probably, I guess, I don't know, 3 years or something too, that I'm still making videos. That's crazy to me. But again, it's all because of you guys commenting on the videos. I've got relationships pretty much, it seems like, with all of you. Like, there's some of you that we talk back and forth almost every day in comments, emails, something along those lines. And I really, really appreciate you guys sending me tool suggestions because, again, I don't work around people who are tool nuts like me. So nobody just comes to me and says, "Hey, have you seen this new tool?" It's very rare. So you guys are, showing me stuff that I've not been able to see. And I really appreciate all that as well. But I'm going to go ahead and jump off here. Appreciate all y'all. Glad to have been here for it. Rest up. Let's see. I'm making sure I'm not missing anything. Appreciate the congrats, Tony and Contreras. The return of the sweat bra. It's pretty hot out here. It's 97 degrees today out here, so it's warmer than usual. So appreciate y'all. Y'all have a blessed weekend. Blessed tomorrow if you're still working and all those kinds of things. Y'all stay safe. And I'll see y'all on the next one.